Okay, safety outside. So we're going to have human beings on these cables. It's half-inch cable, and the proper way, there's a formula you use for putting your saddle clamps on cable, but I wanted it 3 turnbacks. 3. In other words, the cable goes in, comes back, and then goes back in and one more time. But it's hard to find reasonably priced saddles for half-inch steel cable like that, especially when it has a plastic coating, because now it's bigger than a half-inch. So this is what I do. I do not like cutting and removing the plastic coating on the cable. The trouble with that is you have to continually go back and tighten it down after it's been tightened down, because the cable starts to deform. This is what you do. You take your heat gun and you heat the cable as you crank it down, and it will go all the way to the cable, but it will still have that thin layer of protection. So these beasts, these are what I'll be using. They're massive. You see, it's the thread that is your safety here. Your thread is what holds. And the stainless steel ones that I got before, when I tightened them down, I got some galling because the threads would deform from tightening them down. I actually had deformation of the threads, and that's not good because they get galled and you have to cut them off. So these are cast galvanized, so they won't rust either. And this way I'll get to turn my tail back in there and have it the way I like it. Safety, safety, safety. Whenever human beings, especially children, are involved, you cannot overbuild or over-engineer enough. That is my philosophy, and it always will be, because it would just destroy me to have someone be injured. Because we're gonna have zip lines and shit. It would really bother me if anybody got hurt, especially one of the kids. It would just destroy me. So I would rather spend the extra money and to have that safety factor where I'm not always wondering when we're out there playing, is this bench with 3 big human adults swinging on this bench watching the kids play, are we going to be safe? See? That's why steel poles were installed 3 feet deep with a mushroom bottom. I mean, literally, you couldn't pull them out of the ground with your 4x4 monster truck. So, I think that's the last stage. And then we're going to have about 3 good solid days of rain coming up. And after that, we're going to go out and start cutting cable. It's going to be exciting. Summer comes early in Reading. It doesn't bother the kids. It doesn't bother the kids, the heat, but it does bother the adults. So having steel cables up for the sunshades will allow me to hang some heavy hose with real misters, not the little fake ones that have their own little stand. I'll be able to have mister valves in a steel pipe. So I will drill the holes in the steel pipe, I will thread them, and then I will insert the mister nozzles and put an on-off valve on the end. And I'll have the real deal. But I could never do that because I need something, each one of those misters is going to be 8 feet long, made of steel pipe, and it's going to be very heavy, and so you need steel to hold steel. So the minimum weight on my weakest point of this whole suspension system will be 1,800 pounds with a safety factor of 2.